and I would just jump real quick here and then give Evan a shot at it, but I would argue that we have a lot of Facebook Christians. I mean, this is going to be on Facebook, and rather than displaying what you're talking about, displaying a Christ-like life and a spiritual walk that is good and follows Jesus and follows those who have come before us, we have a lot of people who are like, they're so disgruntled with what's going on in the world that they'd rather just share memes and angry posts on Facebook rather than just exemplify Jesus Christ and be, I guess you catch more flies with sugar or with honey than vinegar or whatever the phrase is. But that's my thought process on it, and it worries me that we have so many Christians who get on Facebook and rant rather than just being concerned about sharing the love of Jesus with others.
Spend all week saying, selling fear and anger and resentment, and then on Sunday you post, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength," and the world kind of goes, "Really?" Mm-hmm. And so, yes. Yeah.
Well, and I liked some of the terminology Joe used there because thinking about the way, that's actually what a lot of early church followers called themselves. We are followers of the way. Mm-hmm. And they take that from Jesus saying, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Well, what does society say right now? Well, okay, so Jesus says, "I am the way." Society says, "Well, that's your way. I have my way." Yeah. Jesus says, "I am the truth." Well, I've got my truth, and that may be your truth. And then Jesus says, "I am the life." And what do we say? We say, "Well, it's my life." And so I think a lot of it comes from our self-centered need to be selves. That was a weird way to say that. But, like it's about us. It's about me. And to be... I don't even remember what your original question was, David. I'm sorry. But I think I'm answering it.
You are.
But
You are.
To find that spiritual identity is to deny yourself and take up your cross and follow Him. And so I mean, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I agree completely. There's so much that we could say about this subject, and we're having to hit it from 50 miles away with a little bitty picture, but for such a large subject. But if we take all of this and we take all the stuff that how we should live and how we actually are living, and we've talked about the world, but I think our podcast and video is not really for the world, truthfully. Our audience is meant to be the church. Yeah. And so if someone's watching this, it's very highly likely that they're a Christian, or they're at least pursuing the idea of maybe becoming a Christian, even if they haven't accomplished that yet. My question is, as believers, knowing everything that we've talked about, how do we live more like Christ and less like the world? And you have to take everything that we've said into account. I know it's kind of a stupid question because we know the answer, but how do we get out of the fight on Facebook and instead post something that's uplifting and positive, that we love the world and we don't care about your sin, we love you, and still at the same time we have to condemn sin as Jesus condemns sin? How do we live as Christians and listen to the same radio programs or the same TV shows as the world? And this is a very convicting thing for me, and I think for everyone when we really start thinking about it. Where do we draw the line on certain subjects and issues?
Well, so how did you guys come to be T-shirt Twinkies?
I called Evan this morning. And
you're the analytic person. You're the analytic person of the two of them. How does it come to be that the two of you show up to work with the same shirt on?
This morning I put on gray shorts, and I thought, well, I can't wear a gray shirt because I like to wear gray T-shirts. And
how many other colored shirts do you have?
I didn't find a black one that I wanted to wear. So I saw this blue one, and I thought, well, I'm making a video for the church today. I'll put on this Altona shirt.
Statistically, you're getting more and more, because we're trying twice a year to order Altona shirts. Statistically, you're getting more and more Altona shirts in your closet. Mm-hmm. And the more people around you that have the same attire in the closet, the more likely you're going to find yourself walking out. My wife and I showed up to the office yesterday wearing the same shirts because we go to the same conferences. and eventually your closets start looking similar. I think one of the things we do is by continually, purposely consuming Christianity, it makes the choice easier, because when we look in the closet, the clothes are all Christian t-shirts. I think when I find myself just naturally, my TV time, it's not a matter of being so repulsed by those things. I'm not. But if I'm living a Christ-like life, I mean, let's be honest about it. If you're studying your scripture with the passion that you should, and spending your time in prayer and being a servant to God and a husband and a father and a neighbor and a coworker, how much time do you honestly, just be honest about that, how much time do you have to lay around and consume Hollywood? If you're trying to grow to understand the Christian worldview, which means you're keeping up with a minimal amount of podcasts that are born out of a Christian worldview, how much time do you have to listen to Garth Brooks? I'm not saying Garth Brooks is a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you are truly focused, living a focused Christian life, you're going to find that when you shuffle through the options of life, more and more and more and more of them, what you're drawing out of is going to start matching up. For just to use the t-shirt reference, pretty soon I'm going to find myself going, oh, that's why. Because my options are now more and more biblical. They're turning in that direction. Less and less of them are from the world.
Yeah.
Because there's just not room for it. It's just a matter of time management and going, by the time I've done everything Christ has called me to do, I just don't really have the space to fill it with that stuff.